Hello, this is Duntov. So today I'm at the Mirage site. It is Friday, March 21st, 2025. So I am at the Venetian Hotel right now, across the street here. We're gonna zoom in and try to see what's going on today. Alright, so we got the two tower cranes. Trying to see, it doesn't look like they have anything hooked up to either one of them right now. So crane number 2, this front crane, we can see its cable and it has the red. So we can see right there the red, I don't know what you call that, if it's like the hook. And it doesn't look like it's hooked up to anything that I could see there. And then crane number 1, which is the red and white crane. You can see the yellow over there, that's the end of its cable. So neither one of them seem like they're doing anything right now. So if we zoom out, we can see there. So also you can notice the crawler crane is still here in the front. So again, I think that's staying. They're just waiting to use it somewhere else right now. So I remember when they were building Allegiant Stadium and the Sphere, that, you know, a lot of these cranes are reserved for years at a time, you know, ahead of time. So I think once you have it, you got to keep it if you're going to need it again. All right, so let's zoom in. I do see someone working on the one wall over here, the rebar. So these walls are going up even another level now. If you look below it, you can see all the concrete that's already been poured. So they just keep adding. If anyone knows, my guess is each one of you can see the yellow forms. Kind of seems like they're big enough where each one of those would be one level of the, you know, one floor level. Not positive, but that's just my guess. And if we look all the way across here, it's going across. And then a few people did mention my last video, it looked like the elevator core was going in. So I'm gonna move down. Right now we got this big column in the way here in front of the Venetian, but so you can see how each floor now, they even got the porta potties up there. And then I showed this thing last week in my video. I wasn't sure what it was, and some people said they think it might be something for like hydraulics, you know, for like the jack system for all these everything going in. So thanks for the comments, you know, because I don't know what it was. It was hard to tell on the viewfinder. All right, before I move down, I got a good view of the top of the building here. So we can see that they did take some more of the sticker wrap off of there for the Beatles Love. And as you can see right now, there is no one up there working. But you can see the arms sticking out on the top where, so they hang the scaffold from those arms there. And they actually come from the ground and go up. So, you know, they don't come up over the roof. So could be break time. So I'm gonna zoom in on some of these windows here. You can see how it has the white. So what I've been told by a few people that said they stayed in the rooms, that, well, they were staying in the rooms, they saw that glass was cracked before. So I'm just wondering, you know, they were thinking, and it makes sense that this glass might be cracked, so they just put the vinyl over it right now until they, you know, switch out their to put the different glass. You can see some of the wrap coming off on this one. And if we go to the other one, it looks like that one's all you can see how that one's just flapping around there and how it's discolored there, so I'm not sure what that one is, if it, because the wrap is like floating above it. I don't know if it's something else in the window or what. Alright, if we swing over, we have a pillar in the way, but we do, you can see the old Mirage entrance, so they still have that up. If you didn't know, if you just start watching my videos, the other one on the other entrance, they actually took it down and they're bringing it to the Neon Museum. That's the one that has the Mirage in lights, that kind of the twinkle lights. So this one, you can see the tarp behind this column here. So that one still, you know, has Mirage underneath there. So I see some people on one of these lifts. We're gonna see if they're going up to work on the wall. So you can see they're moving that down. We'll see if they're gonna go up and what they'll do. Not sure where they're going. It's kind of a slow process there. So, all right. Well, I'm going to move my way down a little more. I can see that they do have the concrete pump working back there. You can see it sticking up back that way. And then they got some more of the columns, you know, going up in this front area. So let me move on down to try to get away from these big columns here at the Venetian and see what else we could see back there. Okay, I just moved down a little bit. I could see a little better through the yellow crane in the front there. So this Tower 2 crane in the front, it's actually starting to move, like they're getting ready to pick something up. They're lowering the cable down. We can see it going down there. So we'll see what they end up picking up. It looks like it's going to be blocked by the crane still. So I'll keep an eye on that, see what they're going to lift up in the place. But then I could see more people up on this top level here. We're going to try to figure out what they're working on up here. Alright, so there's the... Oh no, that's someone different. The guys that were on that lift, they're down here now. Sorry for the shake. When I zoom in this far, it's any little movement, you know, it makes it shake a lot. Okay, so it looks like they're working on just, you know, making sure those forms are secured. And we'll go back up here and see what they're working on. So you can see those blue kind of like steel beams. So I guess that's to hold up the floor or whatever. Maybe they're gonna pour a floor, you know, over. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna swing back to the right. I see they're picking up a form for the. This is the front crane here, picking up a form. So let's see where they're gonna go put that one. So these are the forms that make these columns that they're putting up. And crane number 1 is also moving. So someone asked, and I'm not sure, like their height wise, if they swing around, I think that white one, black or red and white one in the back has to move out of the way for this other one to swing. Because the white one just moved over and now he's swinging over, so kind of seems like it. All right, let's zoom back in, try to see that form going. You can see it there. So maybe these guys on the lift, that's what they might be waiting for. No, it's passing them up. So if we look now, so you can see how they were swinging. So when it's the short end of the crane, it does make it, but yeah, they would kind of hit each other. Okay, of course it's right behind the base of the crane there. Alright, so that's in the back of the base. You can't see it, but so if you look though, like this lower part's looking more like a building. You could see the different levels now, how they could go underneath inside there. Then they have the ladders right now to get up to these other areas. Alright, so let's look back at this. We can see the concrete pump truck back there. So that, from here, it appears like it's behind the building, like by where the HVAC, like the chiller system and all that's going in. So that appears to be back there, because it looks like the arm's coming up behind the building over there. So they're pouring some kind of concrete in the back. You know, I was here on Monday and they had those 4 pieces for the HVAC unit that are going to go on top. in that steel structure, so maybe they loaded those up. I'll try to get up there in my next visit. But they're doing some work in the back. Alright, I always got to show this when it drives by. So we're about a month away from the draft. Curious to see what the Raiders are going to do. You know, they got a lot of changes in the free agency stuff, so just curious to see what they're going to do with that 6th pick of the first round. So I will be going to the Raiders draft party. This year it's going to be at the Palms Casino at Chaos. So you do have to get invited to that. You have to be a VIP, VVIP, or a club seat owner to get invited. I am not either, but thanks to my sister and brother-in-law, they are, so I'll get to attend it this year again. And it's always, they always go all out with it. Food, drinks, entertainment, just to watch the first day of the draft. So I usually do a video for that, so I should have that if you're interested to see what kind of party the Raiders throw for that. Alright, I'm going to move down a little bit more just to see if we could see some more anything else around the crane and the pillars over here. Alright, so we do have the concrete truck coming out of there. I remember my last video, they actually could drive under the building to the back, so that's probably where they're coming from, you know, to keep that pump truck going. Alright, so this is pretty much like we got the Mirage building framed right in the middle here. So that crane one is not doing any lifting right now again. So they just seem like they just moved it out of the way for crane 2 to swing around. And then of course that form that crane 1 lifted is right behind the base where you can't really see it. That's right behind there. So basically it's going to make all these columns. That's what the, you know, what that base or that form is going to make. All right, so if you didn't know, I mean, if you follow basketball, college basketball, you do know it's March Madness. Yesterday started, so it's a big thing in the casinos here. So it's day 2 of the first round right now. My bracket, I had a couple upsets. I had Clemson and I had Louisville. And I didn't see the late games because I had to work, so I went to bed. But out of the early games, those are my first 2 on my bracket that I lost. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the tournament. But I guess that's all we got for today. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to Raiders 1967 to get updates on this Mirage to Hard Rock transformation, as well as the new Ace Stadium that they should be breaking ground sometime before June. That's the word I've been hearing about. The demolition of the Trop is almost done. It looks like now it's more of just them cleaning up the, breaking up the concrete and getting that all crushed and hauled out of there. So it should be coming really quick. So if there's anything in the video you enjoyed, please also, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And that's all I got for you today. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will talk with you guys next time.